Oceanside Place.
Okay, it's the Bible place.
No, they bought.
They,
Oh, wow. Marina, my friend's married into yeah, my friend married into a family. Where's the Bay Park Fishing Station?
Big Park. Well, that's not coming along.
Oh, our attorney doesn't have a name.
We'll give you Joey's name. You sure? Oh, not ready? Okay. Nancy's just reviewing the computer. No?
Nudge you? Okay. You got it.
Nancy's just reviewing the computer. Good?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Led by Commissioner Barry Wall.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Alton? Commissioner Creighton? Commissioner Acevedo? Commissioner Lees?
Present.
Commissioner Brooks?
Present.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Present.
Chairman Morelli? Commissioners Creighton and Acevedo are absent. Case number 3350, application of 86 Illinois Avenue LLC of 83 Joyce Road, Plainview, New York, for a variance in the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-113.2A off-street parking curb cut size, 9-113.2H off-street parking design, to maintain a curb cut size at 86 Illinois Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 58, Block 112, Lot 10, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who will introduce a motion on this application?
I would like to introduce a motion to deny the application.
Commissioner Lees is introduced to deny the application. Who will second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Leonetti is second on the motion. Commissioner Alton? Commissioner Lees?
Deny.
Commissioner Brooks?
Deny.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Deny.
Chairman Morelli? This application has been denied. Case number 3354, application of Anna Belkachoff of 160 East Walnut Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-113.2G off-street parking, for new off-street parking in the front yard at 160 East Walnut Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 111, Lot 30, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Is the applicant present tonight? Come on, please. Give us your name and address.
Good afternoon, Yuli Belchikov. Good afternoon, Yuli Belchikov.
And your address.
I apologize. 160 East Walnut Street, Long Beach, New York, 11561.
So, Mr. Belchoff, you are here for requesting an off-street parking spot in the front yard. Tell us a little bit about the spot. What's the access to that spot in the front yard? Is there a cross back there already?
There's a current spot, but it's fenced around it, and it's a pretty small spot to begin with. We have 3 cars. When we purchased the lot, there's a fence that wraps around the driveway itself, the straight driveway into the back of the home.
You would not have to enlarge the curb cut, or you would enlarge it, or you would be able to use the curb cut as presently existing?
I believe our architect is requesting I think he said, a 3-foot curb cut addition.
So in order to expand by 3 feet, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there parking in front of your home, or is there parking on the side of the street? Correct.
Well, there's no parking in front of the home. The previous owner kind of parked to the side of the home itself, but there's, off-street parking, of course.
Okay. So my point then basically, if you were to enlarge this curb cut, are you going to be reducing any amount of on-street parking? Or would a car still be able to park for 3 feet less?
A car would still be able to park, yeah.
Okay. Now, you say that the parking spot that you have at present is a little too small to accommodate a larger car. What would you anticipate, or what is the size of the new spot that you'd be adding to?
Well, it'll be to the side, to the left or so of the home itself. It's just off to where the parking spot's a little off to the side itself. Then we just want to add one to the side as well. We have 3 cars, pretty decent-sized family, 3 adults and 3 kids. 3 cars, 3 adults, and 3 children, so parking in tandem would be kind of difficult for us. In tandem, sorry. Parking in tandem would be quite difficult for us. Apologies.
These 2 photos are houses across the street. It says 159 and 155.
I would imagine.
Nothing else in here.
I don't see any kind of plan, unless I'm missing it, that shows where you're requesting the parking.
So currently, there's a white fence that is covering that area.
Right.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
It's a clear picture.
Yeah, that's it.
So, Mr. Belcoff, I see a parking spot here that there's a green fence at the end of it, right? That's on the left side of the house.
Yes, sir, that's right. That's correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the white fence is wrapped around it.
So basically, you're looking to, it looks like one vehicle now parks directly in front of the fence, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have this paved area, and then to the left of, to the right of the steps, where the mailbox is, there's a grassy area, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so where would the parking spots, I'm just having a little confusion visualizing.
Our thought is to...
Parking, is it going to cut into that grass?
No, sir, it's the other side. We want to remove that white fence.
The white fence, that's the boundary line between your home and the other home next to it?
No, sir, it's part of our home.
Okay, so then what goes to the left of that fence? How many feet are there to the property line?
I'm not quite sure of the distance, but we now have trees on that line. Trees on that line. I'm not sure if the picture describes the trees, but that's where the property line is. It's a good, at least 10 feet towards to the property line from that location, at least.
I have to visualize this a little bit, but I want to see, I'm going to look at an area of New York. Just a couple of houses next to it, I'll visualize.
So he's talking about doing this in this
Yeah,
area.
this will, his driveway's right here.
Because I'm just having a little problem visualizing.
Expand the curb cut.
If you were to take down
Yeah,
that
expand,
fence,
he's looking
right,
to take that curb
Right.
cut.
that white fence,
I'd like to
how
know.
much
So,
room
yeah.
to the left of it are you
Yeah, it
going
looks
to
like
have?
there's a parking spot right here.
to, maneuver another car in there and to move over. So, as I'm looking at, at the Google Earth shot of it, where you have the white fence, there looks like there's a side yard of grass.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And that side yard, I mean, if I had to say, it would be probably somewhere, maybe like about 8 feet, 10 feet.
Sounds-
How far over are you going to be moving over that fence? What was your plan when you and your architect decided that? And also, looking at the space that's there where the grass is, I mean, you see this?
Yes.
Okay. Where that grass is, I see there's a black car or a dark gray car parked in front of it now. It doesn't look like a particularly big car. I mean, it looks like maybe a Nissan Murano or something of that sort. But the thing is, if you're going to take 3 feet away from that, it's going to be a pretty small car that would have to be able to utilize that space. In other words, right now, you've got something that might be like a small SUV that's taking up that space, and it just goes, that's not your car, is it? That black car?
I don't think so.
Goes right to the edge of the driveway.
I don't think that's my car.
Okay.
Rocco, I don't think we have enough information here to see what the impact on the adjacent parking is. I'd like somebody to draw a little bit of a plan
Yeah,
that shows
I don't,
the driveway being enlarged and how much space is left between your enlarged driveway and the next, and how much parking is left to the left of it as you pull in.
Okay.
yeah,
So
you had an architect work on this, right?
we do.
Who's the architect?
His name is Ian. It's my wife's project, so I'm here. I'm pinch hitting today.
Because he should have really have given you some sort of drawing or a plan. Because, and this is your fault, I believe it. But what I'm seeing here is that there's nothing really to scale. And even if we pursue, if we peruse the property ourselves, we don't have like an official drawing or something in the, packet of papers. And it's kind of hard to make a decision, because if I had to do this, from the seat of my pants, I would say, it's a parking spot that maybe will accommodate a small SUV. East Walnut Street is a pretty busy block, and, people are gonna park there looking to go to Park Avenue sometimes, or the train or whatever.
Sure.
And it just looks to me like if you chop off another 3 feet or more, that somebody's gonna stick a car in that little spot, guaranteed during the week, like for commuting purposes and whatnot. And they're gonna be blocking your driveway, or they're gonna be blocking your neighbor's driveway a little bit. People are not gonna be happy. So it's kind of hard to, fly from the seat of your pants and make a decision without any kind of, real
Peter.
representation in terms of a plan. So I would ask that maybe, before you, have the board vote on it, let's say, if you could submit a plan, unless you want the case heard, if you want to submit a plan, that shows exactly the dimensions of the side yard that would be remaining, where the fence was going to be moved to, a plan showing where the cut of the curve would be. I think then,
And the distance, and the distance to the next driveway.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, the side at the end of the setback. So if you could do that, and please submit it before the next meeting, it would be,
Of course.
that would be what I think the board would feel more comfortable making a decision on, not just, what we're looking at now. And of course, we have no reason to doubt your work, but the thing is, we just have to kind of see it. Because even if you look at it like in a 3D view like this, folks, we still don't really see the dimension of that side yard, it's hard to picture. And, yeah, that car is, it's not a big car, it's a black car. Anyway, does anybody in the audience want to speak in favor or against this application? All right, the case will remain open for voting, and then just, try to submit the documents before the next meeting for voting.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Make sure your architect gets them in time for the building department to look at them, and then they'll refer them over to the zoning board. So the next meeting is July 27th, so just make sure they get it in way before that.
You got it. Thank you.
Case number 3355, application of Gregory Van Roten of 15 Virginia Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.19E front yard, 9-105.19F side yard, for a new deck and stairs at 15 Virginia Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 266, Lot 29, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Hi, my name is Joseph Brennan. I'm the architect on the project. Greg and Trish are the homeowners.
And their address is, Virginia address?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna be doing the side yard, deck, and the stairs.
So, yeah, front yard.
About dimensions.
Sure.
So now, you're gonna be going, in the front, you have a front yard, of 0.3 feet, which is existing, dimension, right? What you're proposing is quite that.
We're proposing, right now it's 2.8 feet.
So you're gonna go to 0.3 feet. Now, you know that probably what the norm more or less has become, that we go to 1 foot and then 3 feet, to where the footings would be. So is there any way you could bring this back to more or less what has become de facto, sort of the norm? We want the footings to be 2 feet closer to the home than to the deck. 2 feet cantilevered off that, which would give you a deck ending a foot shy of the property line, as opposed to 0.3.
So,
So how does that 0.3 come about?
so yeah, the footings are no problem. So if you can see in the photo, we're going to keep the columns where they currently are. So we're just going to cantilever out, as you mentioned. So those columns are going to stay where they are. We're proposing that the upper columns would come to the property line, but not at the street level. And that has to do with the way that the stair comes up. So the plan is actually, the side yard deck is really just going to be for the stair landing. And the thought is that, as is done a lot down in that area, you would walk back towards the house and come up the stairs towards the street. So the stair landing would be up at the front property line. Where we came up with the 0.3 was because of really kind of how the stairs work out. So there's enough space to get in front of the garage to the staircase and then up. So if you look at, I think it's if you look at 010, you can kind of see the plan for how the stair lays out, and the landing and all of that. And then,
I just don't understand. I see how it lays out, but
yeah.
I'm a little confused because I don't see the reason why the stair has to come out, so far that we couldn't conserve like another half a foot. Looking at the front of the yard facing the looking west photo, it looks like right there you said there was 0.8 with the existing stair, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so where's the enlargement of the deck that's going to cause that 3.8 to diminish?
We're basically moving the stairs.
Just give us your
You have to
address.
give your name and address.
Greg Van Roten, 15 Virginia Avenue, Long Beach.
Go ahead.
We're moving the stairs to the side of the house, but in order for there to be enough space to access the stairs, we have to move it closer to the front of the property line, or else the rise over run doesn't make it feasible.
And you can enter the stairs you have to go, the stairs don't go to the front of the house anymore, they go to the back side,
But
right? So you've got a front door on the ground level, I'm gathering.
No, so it's,
So how are you gonna get in the front door?
there's still, that's why we have to move the stairs, we're trying to move the stairs towards the street, so we have at least 4 feet to walk and then enter the stairs.
yeah, and if you look at A400, the north elevation in the lower right-hand corner, you can see kind of how the stair is currently working there. It's outward of the house, but the ground floor is set back further back than the main floor.
You've got to go around the stairs to come up to the front deck.
Exactly, so you would walk, yeah, you would,
How much room is between the stairs and the edge of the property?
right now, it's just the same, it's about 4 inches.
So how are you gonna, you've got to walk on your neighbor's side to.
No, no, so you would,
Right, you mean right now, before, or in these plans?
This one.
no, so you would, it's like here, you would walk just towards the garage here, and then make a right
Oh,
and
you
go up.
to the garage to get in.
Yeah.
Well,
So you're not,
that's why you want to push it out to the street, so you can,
have enough clearance at the ground floor so that when you're walking and turning and coming up, it's not very tight down there.
I mean, how much are you gaining I mean, the way it's configured now seems to make a lot of sense, so what are you gaining?
Well, so-
Probably a few feet on the deck, but.
The problem right now is, you would, number one is you are eating up a lot of deck space with the stair, but then number two is the way that the stair is currently at the ground. Number one, it's very tough with a car. So when you back the car in there, you have to pull the car in and back it in a certain way just to be able to open the door. So if you just pull a car in front there, you cannot open the doors at all because of the location of that column and the location of the stairs that are there.
Can't you bend the stair into an intermediate landing, so it kind of turns into one foot under the house and just leave the top part alone?
So what that would do is, the other thing is, we're looking to try to be able to get another car under there. And if you did that, you wouldn't have the head clearance height to get the car
Do
under.
you approval for another curb cut in this?
So right now, we're not looking for any changes to any of the curb cuts. If you can see right now, the way that this street is there's no curb cuts along it.
So the other car will be without a curb cut?
Yeah. You can see, if you see in the front yard looking northwest photo, the condition of the curb right now, there's 0 curb cut for their
But to
property.
get another car in there, you're gonna still be putting 2 cars in with 1 curb cut, right?
Yes, yeah. Which is pretty typical for down there. I mean, there's lots of houses that have the same condition all up and down the whole
Are there
street.
examples of that in this pack?
Not in this package, but I could show you 10 houses on Virginia that do this. And also have the stair that starts in the back and returns towards the front of the house.
You got a roof deck in this house too?
Yes, there's an existing one. It's just going to be modified. We're going to put decking down. Right now, it's just accessible, and it's a fiberglass spray, and we're just going to put a floating paver system on top and redo the railing. It's just sort of a refresh.
Anyone else? Would anyone like to speak in favor of the application or against? Does anybody want to make a motion on it?
I'd like to roll over and check this out.
Okay. So the case will be made on the voting for this one. So you want to speak? For or against? For or against? Come on, give us your name and address.
Michael Coppola, 3 Virginia Avenue. My home, it resides to the south of the Van Roten's home, and I have no issues with what they're proposing. There is properties like this with the staircase in the same configuration as they're explaining, and even the roof deck or the decking, we have no issue whatsoever.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so, yeah, there was another hand, I see another hand. Come on up.
Josephine Donaldson, 3 Virginia. Josephine Donaldson, 3 Virginia. Donald, son.
3 Virginia, same house?
Same house, yes.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think what the Van Rotens would love to do is make sense of a bad design. Because everyone scratched their head when they saw that the previous owners had 2 garages but could only access 1. So it made 0 sense that there was a staircase in front of the second garage. So they're just trying to correct a really bad design. That's it.
All right.
Is there parking on your side of the street?
On the other side?
On your side of the street, is there street parking?
Yes, Virginia, wide block, you can park on both sides. Yeah.
Okay, so would the curb cut take away a street spot?
Technically, I think, probably, but it's only between our house and the house next to us, which the house next to us was just previously raised, and they have the same sort of kind of driveway that we're proposing. And the issue that we have had in the past, and a big reason why we want to do this, is because the space between the houses is not large enough for most cars, and people do park there, and they do infringe upon our current driveway. So even with the current curb cut situation, it's just, like you said in the previous case, there's just not a lot of space, and people trying to kind of jam in there. So this would make our house a little more functional for us and alleviate a lot of the problems that we face, especially in the summertime with people coming down to the beach.
Yeah, I understand. Am I wrong, or is he would have to come back for another
Well,
variance?
that's why there's no curb cut in this
Right.
application, but ultimately they'll be coming to one, certainly.
Could you explain the curb cut variance to me, please?
You have a driveway apron that gets into your single driveway right now.
Well, there is
In
no,
order to utilize the wider, in order to utilize a second garage, which you clearly don't have a curb cut for, you'd have to probably have a second driveway and a second curb cut.
sure, I understand like what a
Widen that,
curb cut
because-
is.
Because right now, you're saying people are parking there, but the only way for you to get rid of that is to take away the parking spot by widening your curb cut, right?
Correct.
Otherwise, that's not gonna change.
I
Right?
mean, I think what we're, if you, there currently, there's no apron at all. in front of
That's what I'm
the
saying, I understand that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
people will still park there, that's not going to change regardless of what you do here, unless you come back again for another curb cut.
I mean, if someone parked there, wouldn't they be parking in front of a garage, a driveway?
Doesn't matter, if there's no curb cut, it's a legal parking spot.
That's interesting, okay.
Okay? So
Yeah,
you
you can't
probably want,
drive up onto the sidewalk and access your driveway. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, if you have a four-wheel driveway.
I understand, I'm just saying, there is,
Right up to the curb.
it's not like a 6-inch curb.
No,
yeah,
it's,
you could pop up on it, but somebody could still park on the street legally in front of you and now lock you in. So that could happen.
I understand, I think there's a little confusion
survey
on
should
the
show-
size of the
The
curb.
survey should show whether there's a curb cut or not. And just because you have two driveways and there's no curb in front of it, if it's not in the plans, somebody could legally park in front of that driveway that does not have a curb cut
Okay,
assigned to it.
I think I understand now.
Yeah, you're not solving the parking problem at all here, for you.
Got it. Okay.
The interesting thing is that, you know, the survey actually doesn't even show any curb cut either. So I don't even know if there's any legal curb cut.
It's a one-family home, right, so you probably were given one curb cut, or the prior owners.
Well, the only thing is if they haven't used it, can we get that approved? Because if no one has actually done any curb cut, would it be easy for us to just add one where we wanted to?
It's a very difficult thing in the West End because everyone screams for the lack of parking. So it's hard to take that away.
So I have a question. The house next to us was raised, it was a bungalow, and we never got a letter about variances. So we had to send out letters to all of our neighbors about variances for the decking stuff we were trying to do. So did they need to send out a variance for curb cuts?
They must have done everything within code. They must have sat with the building department and everything they submitted. Wasn't within code, which means it doesn't come here.
Okay.
Or it wasn't done legally in the first place.
Well, that would be enforcement if it's
Yeah,
something
that's
not in
enforcement.
code, and
Okay.
then people come here for things that were done without being in code, and they're told to reverse it out. That happens too.
Okay, yeah.
If you look at,
It's the first time we've done this. We're just
Yeah.
trying to figure the whole process out.
because if you see in the photo of the
Survey,
front yard of the Northwest, again, that's the neighbor right next door. We're pretty much trying to do exactly what they did.
Is it a two-family
He
house?
said it was.
Pardon?
Two-family.
That's the difference.
Okay.
They have two parking driveways for each legal area.
Okay.
That would be within code.
But the setbacks, their setbacks would require a variance. Because they're doing, from a deck standpoint, they're trying to do the exact same thing that we're doing.
I see.
Yeah.
Your front deck extension thing is not a problem.
Okay.
It's
The curb
It's
cut.
the other stuff.
Got it. So, sorry, do we have to like resubmit, or how do we?
I don't know how you want to approach this. We could probably, I don't know if the board allowed we give a partial allowance for the extension of the deck on the top, but the rest of it, I think.
Yeah, so the curb core portion would be a whole different application to the building department. So that has no bearing on what's before us right now.
Okay.
Got it, okay.
Understood.
In theory, you can get this approved, but they can't be guaranteed access to the garage.
Exactly,
Correct.
that'd be a separate application.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Theoretically, it could be a spot for nowhere if somebody's blocking the walkway to make it happen.
Okay.
So, can I,
Motion on this one.
can I make a motion to grant this application?
Yes.
Case number 3355, application of Gregory Van Roten of 15 Virginia Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.19E front yard, 9-105.19F side yard, for a new deck and stairs at 15 Virginia Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 266, Lot 29, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Commissioner Lees has introduced a motion to grant the application. Chairman Morelli has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton? Commissioner Lees?
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks?
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Grant.
Chairman Morelli?
Grant.
This application has been granted.
Thank you.
So he's still needs to come back for,
Case number 3356, application of Michael Wallach of 622 East Beach Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-113.2G off-street parking, 9-113.2H off-street parking size, for new off-street parking in the front yard at 622 East Beach Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 188, Lot 15, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Good evening, sir. Name and address, correct.
Hi, Michael Wallach, 622 East Beach Street.
Yes. So, Mr. Wallace, tell us about the project.
Excuse me?
Tell us about what you wanted to do.
Well,
You
we-
wanted to do a parking spot.
Right, we have
a
it,
house, and the parking spot is a little narrow and small, and, you know, we need a variance for that. So tell us about it.
right, well, the original driveway was practically unusable. It had two walls on either side. When you pull your car in, you couldn't even open the door. We have a two-family house, it's a legal two-family house, and we want to have off-street parking for two residents of the house. Right now, you know, what's permitted is one, so we wanted to widen it and have two cars. And it wouldn't remove any parking spots on the street.
So basically, though, that I understood. The thing though that I was looking at was though the parking lot or the parking spot size, because we require a 9x20, and it looks like it's 6.5 and 13. So the question becomes, how does that come to pass that it's a small spot, you know, by like 6 feet?
Well,
How would you fit the car in there?
well, I measured it today, and from the sidewalk all the way back, it actually measures 15 feet, and the total width is 16 feet 9 inches.
Is that again, how long is it? 16
So
long?
it's actually from the sidewalk to the back is 15 feet, so it's 15 feet deep, not 13. And the total width is 16 feet 9 inches.
Okay, so when did discrepancy come to pass after looking at the plan then? Because the city building department has 6.5 by 13. So there's some sort of discrepancy here, because they're talking about it being deficient by 3 feet, and they're talking about it being deficient by 6.
Yeah, I'm,
So,
yeah,
you know, I can see where it would be impossible to open you know, a door of a car in the existing situation.
Right.
So one car would be directly in front of the, what's the garage right now, and the second car would be to the right of that?
Correct.
So,
You have to give your, give your name and address for the,
Yeah, that's,
ma'am, you have to give your name and address for the record if you're going to speak. Come up to the microphone and give your name and address
Yeah,
so you
please come up to the
to speak.
microphone, give us your name and address, and then please tell us what.
Jean Wallach, 622 East Beach
Okay.
Street.
Go ahead.
Okay, just before we left, we took these pictures, and maybe if you see, there's room for 2 cars. And also, when we moved in, the way it was cut with that raised thing was very dangerous. I nearly fell off. In the dark, you couldn't see it. And also, the neighbors were very happy that we were going to have 1 car off the street. Okay, so, there you go.
Please stand a minute.
This curve does not look big enough for cars.
No,
It's only enough green, so I don't think.
yeah,
there's
no, it's,
anything on the street.
yeah, and the person next door has no problem with
And
it.
it gives you a spot.
so, so the little hedges on the right-hand side will come out?
We took them out.
yes, we
Okay.
already took them out.
So, would the car on that side be able to go in a little deeper?
The cars can, yes, it can go all the way in and completely clear the sidewalk.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is the one directly in front of the garage, obviously, you can only go just so far to the garage door. The space you're proposing to the right of the garage door, would that be deeper?
No, it's the same distance.
Same distance?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions for the members of the board as we see now? Anyone want to speak in favor or against the application? No. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Case number 3356, application of Michael Wallach of 622 East Beach Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-113.2G off-street parking, 9-113.2H off-street parking size, for new off-street parking in the front yard at 622 East Beach Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 188, Lot 15, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Commissioner Alton has introduced a motion to grant the application. Chairman Morelli has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton?
Grant.
Commissioner Lees?
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks?
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti?
I would say grant, but I wanted, the homeowner to know that if a car is bigger than that length and hangs out into the sidewalk, our approving this does not allow for that.
Right. Yeah, you can see that it's not sticking.
It's 13 feet, right?
Right. Those are cars of a certain size. If you put a Lincoln Navigator in there,
Oh.
it's going to hang over on the sidewalk. So what I'm saying is, us granting this does not grant hanging over into the sidewalk if you put a bigger car there.
Yes, I understand.
So grant.
Chairman Morelli? This application has been granted.
Thank you very much.
Michael, you'll get a letter from the building department letting them know letting you know what the next steps are. You could always follow up with them in a couple of days, though.
All right,
Okay?
Thank you
Sure.
very much.
Case number 3357, application of Mark Singer of 28 Kirkwood Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-106.17 fence height limitations for a 6-foot-high fence in the front yard at 28 Kirkwood Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 223, Lot 13, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Good evening, Mr. Cigarette.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Vincent Albert, 106 New Hampshire Avenue in Massapequa, representing Mark Singer, the owner of the property. We're here seeking relief to have a 6-foot fence in the front yard at the property. We are proposing a new staircase from the existing second-story deck down, and the staircase will cover the platform that's coming down and a portion of the stair stringer, as well as add about 5 feet to the primary yard that they use. The Singers live on Kirkwood, which is a one-way street. There is no parking on their street. There is no driveway within 15 feet on their property, and the neighbor's property driveway is about 30 feet from this fence. Even with the fence in the front yard, it will not go beyond the existing balconies that are there, which will leave 6.5 feet approximately to the property line, plus another 5 feet of the sidewalk. So with that, we don't believe that there's any hardships. There's no line of sight issues that are being brought towards with this. So any safety of any pedestrians walking while someone's going in the driveway, we think is thwarted from this.
Okay, so what was the reason though for the 6 instead of the 4? Basically? I mean, what does the 6 accomplish that a 4-foot height can't?
Privacy, number one. Number two, where the stringer comes down for the new fence and the platform, it'll cover that. At a 4-foot, you're gonna have that 1.5-foot gap there. So we wanna bring that up there. There's currently a 6-foot fence there. The neighbor has bushes that are 6 feet. It's all gonna be uniform then with everything that's going on. They're also putting a shower behind there, so the 6 feet gives the privacy. If it was 4 feet and there was a shower on the other side of that fence, it's basically, you know, there's zero privacy for the shower as well.
Why didn't you put the shower there instead of in the back or any other place?
There's no room to put a shower in the back. There's only 5 feet in the rear yard. And when they purchased this house, this house was done for them. There's windows along that north side of the property there, so there's nowhere to put that shower along the side of the house there. Further, if they were to close up a window and put it over there on that north side, where the closest water is above, the staircase wouldn't be able to come straight down along the house. The staircase would then have to come off the house and come sideways, and we just don't want to bring that kind of a look to the street over there.
Okay, I understand. I'm just trying to think on that block. I mean, it really isn't, and I know what you're talking about. I know that block well. I just wanted to know, though you mentioned that the neighbor's, bushes are 6 feet high. Again, that's not the same as asking for a 6-foot fence because unfortunately many people let their bushes grow taller than they should. But that's an unfortunate issue. But the thing is that I'm trying to envision where the landing is, that the 4-foot fence would give you a 1.5-foot of a gap in visibility.
So if you look at the photos that I've given you, you see the balcony that's already there. So if you envision a landing and a staircase to the left of that rides along the side of the house on the north side of the house going towards the back of the house, that's where your gap would be. And then also, yes? Also, we had mentioned in the plans that we have the outdoor shower, which is in the plans there. And if we had a 4-foot fence there, there's no way we could put the outdoor shower there, and there really is no other place for it. This is also a matter of convenience, coming in from the beach and be able to rinse off right when you walk into that yard and then up the new set of stairs into your home.
So you said the 6-foot fence is there now?
There is a 6-foot fence now, but it's not at the balcony, it's at the house line. So what we're looking to do is bring it out to the extent of the balcony, which is still, that balcony is still over 6 feet from the property line, and there is a 5-foot sidewalk beyond that. So that 6-foot fence essentially from the curb is over 11 feet.
So the fence would run, how long is the run of that 6-foot fence approximately?
21 feet.
All right, I understand. Anyone in the audience want to speak more or against? Want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to grant that.
Yeah, I'll second.
Case number 3357, application of Mark Singer of 28 Kirkwood Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-106.17 fence height limitations for a 6-foot high fence in the front yard at 28 Kirkwood Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 223, Lot 13, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Commissioner Alton has introduced a motion to grant the application. Chairman Morelli has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton? Commissioner Lees?
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks?
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Grant.
Chairman Morelli. This application has been granted.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.
Case number 3358, application of Golden Era LB Inc. of 227 East Park Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the City of Long Beach, New York. 9-106.12 trailer of property for placing a food trailer in an empty lot at 229 East Park Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 124, Lot 180, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Good evening. Dennis G. Kelly, 120 West Park Avenue, Suite 311, Long Beach, New York, 11561. Here on behalf of the applicant, Golden Era LB Inc. Golden Era is a vitamin, supplement, smoothie, prepackaged food shop, which is located at 227 East Park Avenue. That's the block just east of Long Beach Boulevard on the north side of East Park Avenue. We're here this evening asking for a variance from the code to allow for the parking of a food trailer in the empty lot that immediately abuts 229 East Park Avenue at 227 East Park. If you look at that row of storefronts on the north side where 229 is, there's a lot actually between that last retail storefront and the parking lot that's now been renovated as part of the apartment construction of the old
What's the dimension of that lot?
20 by 100.
20 by 100.
Yes. I have some, I'm going to hand up to you, Mr. Chairman, some photographs of the trailer as well as the dimensions of the trailer.
Ready?
I'm ready. So there's a set for each of you and one for the record. Excuse me? Okay.
Yeah. The short one.
Here you go.
Oh, Mike.
He stepped out.
Oh, okay.
Thanks. So what I've just submitted to the board are 3 pages, the first of which is the actual trailer, or the type of trailer that my client Golden Era intends to use, except instead of black, it'll be in stainless steel. On the second page are drawings and dimensions of the trailer, indicating that it's in fact 9 feet tall from the ground to the flat part of the steel roof. It's 6 feet long from the rear, 16 feet long, I'm sorry, what did I say? 16 feet long from the rear of the trailer all the way out to its hookup latch. And then on the last page, I think you see the width of it. 8.5 feet. Mr. Garone opened Golden Era back in February of 2020. I believe it was actually February 20th of 2020, just as the pandemic was about to hit New York. It's a pleasant-looking storefront. It's a pleasant-looking business. It's a good business. The problem is it's always in a position of trying to recover from what happened during COVID. In fact, back in April of 2021, we made application to the City Council for an off-street parking waiver, allowing us to put 8 tables and 32 chairs in that lot, along with a grill to service customers for food. Mr. Garone and his son, who really runs the place, were hoping to do food service out of the store itself, but the expense of that was overwhelming. They've had some issues, and I'll let Mr. Garone address those as to what they were doing in the empty lot for the last 2 years. I also have with us this evening Ben Ferrante, who's the owner of both 229 and 227 on East Park Avenue. We are asking for a special use permit, a temporary special use permit, to allow us to park the trailer on the premises. I think that Mr. Garone intends to park the trailer with its back side, long back side, along the fence abutting the parking lot. Though obviously he does have the option, given the fact that it's on wheels, to put it anywhere either the building department or the zoning board would require. But I think, and I think he thinks as well, the safest place is to put it along the back fence. Having said that, I'm going to give you Mr. Garone so he can explain what he intends to do with the trailer and what's happened with his business over the last 3 years.
Hello all. Vincent Garone, 227 East Park Avenue, Golden Era. Like Dennis mentioned, I opened up on February 20th. That was the grand open of 2020. 3 weeks, society was shut down. We did stay open, however, due to the vitamins that I sell, but that we suffered tremendously for years, a couple of years straight. Again, I'll reiterate, we came in front of a board and they approved a grill for outside, and we sat people, and that worked out nicely, except for the weather in Long Beach. We get a couple rains and a couple weeks of wind and stuff, so that makes it very difficult to get any kind of momentum and keep business moving. So we're looking to put this trailer in place of the grills, or with the grills, or whatever. And so this way we have a safe, contained area to cook. And it'll be a nice looking trailer. It'll be set back a little bit, and it'll be semi-permanent. It's not gonna be coming in and out for special events or anything like that. It's just gonna be where we would conduct our business and provide nice service and a fun area, a nice area, family-friendly place for the neighborhood. Thank you.
So when we made the application to the City Council for the off-street parking waiver, we made the representation that we would operate business between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Maybe during the summer, it might go a little longer outside into the evening. We would have an estimated at that time 6 to 8 employees, more than likely all Long Beach residents work in the area. So I would expect it's going to be more or less the same relative to the application we're making now. And with that, I'll give you Mr. Ferrante, who actually owns the property and is Mr. Garone's landlord.
Good evening. Ben Ferrante, 2700 Two Brothers Court, Oceanside, New York, 11572. Just a few thoughts. I've had the property over a decade, just an empty lot. Cost me about $10,000 a year in taxes to do nothing with. So when I saw Mr. Garone could use it, I said to him, you know, let's figure something out that helps you, helps the area, and you know, maybe even help offset my expenses. The building, the history of the building, there was East Meets West and DeSalvo's Pizza. So there was a food background there. I actually think that, because I own other property in the area, that there's a little void of the food there. And I know when Vinny started the meal preps, it started helping him out a little bit. So he does a great job with it. And I think by adding this to it, it's going to supplement the area, him, and, you know, it's a win-win for everyone. There's nothing on the sidewalk, everything's tucked in on the private property, so better than sit outside instead of smelling smoke from cars like you do on the rest of Park Avenue. You're a little tucked in. I'm sure he's going to make it nice. And like I said, to me it sounds like all positive, so I hope everything works out for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, we more than likely then like to entertain.
Not that it's relevant, but this is obviously, I know, I love your store, by the way, your smoothies are amazing. Food outside will be hot food, I guess? You're going to make burgers?
It's going to be burgers, turkey burgers, chicken, grilled chicken, make some salads and stuff like that.
Can it help thing of the exercise diet kind of?
Yes,
deal?
absolutely. Be a healthy, and
not so healthy for certain people because people's husbands.
That's true, that's not relevant to the case.
Right. Is there a county license required?
A county license, the only thing I'm aware of, Commissioner Leonetti, is fire marshal, which I believe we've gotten fire marshal approval. In fact, that's what those drawings are. They're from Fire Command for the Ansel and the grill. So, you know, I'll check in with the Department of Health, but I haven't heard any need for it. Have you?
No.
Okay. I'll make a call because I don't want to get caught short. Anybody else? If there's any comments, obviously, from the community, great. We would ask for consideration this evening for a vote to see if we can get this thing moving a little bit for the summer before the fall's here. And thank you for your time.
Okay, anybody in the audience for or against? No one? I'm going to move for Andrew.
I'll second it.
Case number 3358, application of Golden Era LB Inc. of 227 East Park Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-106.12, trailer on property for placing a food trailer in an empty lot at 229 East Park Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 124, Lot 180, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Chairman Morelli has introduced a motion to grant the application. Commissioner Lees has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton? Commissioner Lees?
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks?
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Grant.
Chairman Morelli. This application has been granted.
Thank you. Thank you.
Case number 3359, application of Kyle Hendricks of 272 West Walnut Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-113.2G off-street parking for new off-street parking in the front yard at 272 West Walnut Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 60, Lot 11, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Hi, good evening. Kyle Hendricks, 272 West Walnut Street, Long Beach, New York, 11561. Essentially what I'm looking to do is replace the current driveway that's there. It's a concrete driveway, and to the left is a paver driveway. I'm looking to replace that with all asphalt and then have the curb cut widened to match the two-car driveway. As it stands now, I could park a car to the left, as you can see in the pictures. However, I can't park two cars in the driveway and get both cars out at one time. So I wind up having one of our cars parked in the street consistently and then one car parked in our driveway. This would eliminate the parking spot between my house and my neighbor's. As it stands currently, that spot can accommodate probably a compact car. Often there's non-compact cars parked there, so it's constantly a problem between myself and our neighbors because somebody's always kind of coming over the edge of our current driveway. So I'm hoping to eliminate even having to park on the street. So even though I am eliminating a street parking spot, in theory, it should be a wash because now both of my cars will be able to park in the driveway.
Okay, understood. Now, what's the dimension of, what would you do as far as widening the curb cut?
I would look to make it in line with however far it needs to be off the neighbor's property. I think it's 18 inches from the property line, or 20 inches, so whatever's compliant in that capacity.
So the space is not the issue, the space is the proper size. The question is how do you get the space? Because right now you couldn't access it the same way.
It's difficult to access it, and if there's two cars parked in the driveway, they could both park there now, and one car can open its doors, not two at the same time, which is fine, but I wind up never parking both cars in there because then it becomes a juggling act with...
Basically, it's a one-car driveway, and you pave the side of it, which allows for a second car, you just don't have a curb cut.
Right. The pavers were there when I moved there, so right. So currently, as it stands now, and on the survey, it was called a two-car driveway, and then it was only when I went for the application that I found out that the pavers don't count as a driveway, and so that my application then became to make it a two-car driveway and then get the curb cut. That's what I thought, because my original application was for the curb cut, and then I was somebody called and told me I needed to change the application to have a two-car driveway, and then the curb cut would then go along with having a two-car driveway.
Concrete going right into pavement, correct?
Correct, and I was told that the pavers don't count because they're pavers and they're not concrete or asphalt. And it was a little bit surprising because
I think that you got to get into more detail, like concrete driveways need to be 6 inches thick of concrete. So
Right.
if they're suspecting the paver's just flat on the ground, or they're not on a 2-foot slab, that's a different story. But
Right.
maybe somebody can give you some information how thick the slab is.
there's definitely not a slab, they're very uneven.
The aesthetic, I think, of paver and concrete is nicer than asphalt.
Well,
This is more
you
about
haven't seen.
This is more about a curb cut parking spot.
Yeah, I would love to have the widened curb cut.
That is the issue, and, you know, the curb to the left of your driveway certainly looks big enough for a car now.
It is big enough for a car. For a small car.
Any size, decent-sized car. And so the point is, you want that space to be yours.
Well, right. I want to, well, ideally, that space would be mine. Worst case, I would like to be able to just at least repave my asphalt and concrete.
Paving is it's not a zoning issue. That has nothing to do with us.
But that's what's interesting, because the original application was for the curb cut, and then it was told that it was not technically a two-car driveway. So I guess if the curb cut gets denied, then do I have to reapply for an application then to pave where the pavers are in asphalt?
I don't think that's.
Well, the point might be to make it a legal parking space, even if he doesn't have a double curb cut. That would be the question. Yeah, physically, he could park on it. Whether it would be legal to park 2 cars there or not, I don't think it would be.
That's about the curb cut. It's a curb cut application, really.
You could have 2 parking spaces, a single curb cut. In this case, it doesn't. In this case, it doesn't work real well.
Like 10,
although
you gotta go
you know,
in certain ways and out certain.
you know, if the other car isn't parked there, it looks like you can pull them both in. But it's a question of, do we grant taking the space off the street and making it go with the house?
Again, the net effect is, you know, I don't have 2 cars parking in the driveway as it is, even if we call this a 2-car driveway as it stands. Functions as a 1-car driveway that's double wide, essentially. So I think the net effect would be my car would no longer be on the street. So it should be a wash in theory of
We
that.
represent the interest of the whole city, not
Right.
just you. I don't have a problem with two cars on your property, but I have a problem taking the spot off the street.
Right. But if there's 2 cars on my property, then the spot isn't being taken. There aren't 2 cars on my property, and I'm constantly taking space, is kind of what I'm saying.
It's an inconvenience for you, but you won't inconvenience the rest of the neighborhood.
I don't know that it's an inconvenience for the rest of the neighborhood.
Taking the spot away is an inconvenience.
Okay, so then if we're denying the curb cut, then how did the application then to repave, you're saying that that's okay? Because that's what's so, that's what I don't understand. Like,
If the building department told you that, I would like to know more about that. For us, it's more about the curb cut.
okay. So then, so I have to go back to the board, the building
Are you okay
department?
with leaving the single apron and just not being harassed about parking on your pavers? Is that what you're saying?
I'm okay with the single apron if I can get rid of the uneven pavers and the cracked concrete and just kind of make it nice and uniform and look better. I first and foremost, I'd also like the aesthetics, you know, of the house to be improved. So the thought was asphalt with pavers around it and like a repaver the walk. And then ideally, I would like a wider driveway. If I can't do that, I would love to just be able to redo my driveway.
have no problem with the driveway question. It's more about the curb cut and how your neighbors feel
Or any of the neighbors here? Anyone want to speak in favor
He's
or
actually not,
against this
he's
application?
asking for a space in the front, and that's a little curb cut.
In that case being said, anybody want to make a motion on the application?
I'm reading the denial letter. It doesn't mention anything about what kind of paving you have or don't have. The
Right,
variance-
so it was interesting. So the, Tony from A-Top Asphalt submitted the application because he had to describe what he was done. And then I got a call from the building department that said, your application here looks like you're asking for a double wide curb cut, but you only have a single wide driveway. They told me to get a survey. So I went back to the survey I had when I bought the house in 2018, and the survey said that I had a 2-car driveway. So I told Tony at the asphalt place, and he went back to the department of the building department and said, you know, it's zoned for a 2-car, so does that entitle us to the apron? And they said no, even though the survey calls it a 2-car driveway, if it's pavers and it's not concrete or asphalt, it doesn't count. And so they told us you needed to apply for an application to get a 2-car driveway, and then if you get an application approved for a 2-car driveway, that entitles you to widen the apron.
It's very confusing.
I 100% agree with you.
Paver driveways all over town.
That's the exact same thing I said. Because my retort was, my neighbor has an all-paver driveway, does that mean he doesn't have a driveway? And so it became a...
This is about curb cut. Is yours a one-family home?
Yes.
And how about the houses around you?
On my side of the street, so I'm on the south side of the street, there are 1-family homes. On the other side of the street, they're 2-family homes.
Mostly 2 families? The other side?
There's
I'm familiar
four,
with your neighbors.
maybe
Across
4.
the road looks like they got a lot of cars.
There's like, yeah, there's 4 2-family homes on the opposite side of the street, and then it's a mix of some older ones that are single-family.
Anybody else? Anybody want to make a motion?
I'm confused.
Let's do it next time.
I'm not prepared to grant, I'm not prepared to grant it right now.
That's fine. We're going to vote on it next month.
Can you speak to them about clarifying this paper thing? It seems very confusing to me.
Sure, 100%.
And also, I'm assuming letters are out to all your neighbors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, we can't put it over to vote, so clarify that.
One other thing, this survey that you submitted has all kinds of markings on it. Do you know what was added as part of your submission, or is this what's on file with the building department?
That's what's on file with the building department.
With all
So
these-
nothing was new.
With all these notes about asphalt with paver border and things?
That's what you.
Oh, that was what we're looking to do, asphalt with paver border.
Okay, because I don't see the survey saying that there's 2 parking spaces on it.
So it doesn't say 2 cars?
It's not clear.
Can you also give us more details, since you're gonna go back and clarify this, on what that remaining parking space is? I know it's explained to you and your neighbor.
Right.
But if you widened your curb cut a little bit, and you do it enough to still leave a spot there, because there's a big critical problem.
Right.
Especially this time for parking. I know that it's not great to have strangers in front of your house all the time, but we have to provide that.
Right. And then in terms of the clarification, is it something I need to get in writing? the clarification that I need to get, is that something I need to get in writing from them?
In the building department, right?
Yeah, because, like,
Yeah,
it was a real,
concrete paper have anything to do with this at all, period.
okay.
Okay?
Because I didn't understand either.
Okay.
So it's surprising that,
I'm guessing that because you asked for this paver border with asphalt, that they saw a two-car driveway, and they said, now you gotta get a variance, because you only had a single curb cut. That's what I'm gathering, okay?
okay. Okay,
I will clarify that.
okay. And so I have to clarify for them specifically what their issue is with not counting it, or just if this is just a straight
Say, if I leave the
application.
curb cut alone, you know, why would you care? Is one question, right?
Okay.
Explain. And number two, what's the leftover spot? Exactly how much do you need to take away? Can you bite into it without taking away and leaving?
Right,
the
right.
spot?
Is there a minimum size that counts as a spot?
On the street, it's hard. I know driveways have a minimum, but I don't know.
Oh, probably a parking space, which would be 20 feet.
Okay.
I don't think it's 20 feet right now. I did do a driveway. But check it out.
And then will I get notification that I'll be on the docket for the next meeting? Is that how it works?
No,
Well,
it doesn't have to be on the docket. It'll be open for voting, so you can submit stuff in between now and when we vote next month.
Oh, I have to submit everything prior to the next meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll be voting on it then? Got it.
You've got a couple weeks to work on this. This way we'll have all the information processed.
Right. Understood. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Case number 3360, application of Christopher Fangala of 164 Lincoln Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-113.2G off-street parking, 9-113.2H off-street parking size for new off-street parking in the front yard at 164 Lincoln Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 158, Lot 4, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Come on up, please.
I think I said your name wrong. I said Fangala.
Good evening, Board. Christopher Fregala, 164 Lincoln Boulevard, Long Beach.
Okay, so, Gallo, so what you're looking to do is basically, at this point, you want another parking spot in the front.
Correct.
Of 9 by 20. Essentially, 9 by 9, 9 by 23. Sorry.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Okay, so, basically, now you have parking, or they require in the rear yard, side yard, et cetera. Where's the space gonna go in the front yard? Is it gonna go in front of that garage door?
No, that's already the existing parking. We plan on putting it to the right of the new staircase and cutting the curb.
So, you just really are here for another curb cut?
Correct. And that be a legitimate parking spot on property.
Okay, now on that side of Lincoln, people don't park, right? They park
No,
on the
that's the
lot.
northbound side. No
So
parking
you're
in
not
front.
taking anything away from anybody?
No.
So you just want a curb cut on a side of the street where it's not gonna affect anybody. It's 3 inches shy of being a legal curb cut, and there's no other issue.
No.
Okay. Anybody else on the board? Anybody from the audience? Anybody want to speak from the audience? Move to grid.
A second.
Case number 3360, application of Christopher Fregala of 164 Lincoln Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-113.2G off-street parking, 9-113.2H off-street parking size for new off-street parking in the front yard at 164 Lincoln Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 158, Lot 4, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Chairman Morelli has introduced the motion to grant the application. Who seconded the motion?
I did.
Commissioner Leonetti has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton? Commissioner Lees?
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks?
Granted, beautiful picture.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Granted.
Chairman Morelli?
Granted.
This application has been granted.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Case
Have a good night.
number 3361, application of Adam Steinman of 110 Cleveland Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.6A use, 9-105.6A lot size, 9-105.6H density for a conditional temporary variance to convert a one-family house into a two-family house at 110 Cleveland Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 202, Lot 19, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Good evening, Adam Steinman, 110 Cleveland Avenue. Adam Steinman.
Big question of the day. So you have a house that's on 40 instead of an 8, and now you want to convert the house to a two-family. The big question is why you need two families.
My parents are snowbirds, so I just want to have them have a place to stay on the first floor. The kitchen was done by the previous owner of the house. I purchased it in October, and they did everything not with permits and anything, so I'm just trying to do everything above board.
So you bought the house, you have a mortgage, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And when the house was purchased or when the contract foreclosed, and they did an inspection, is that when this all came up, or did it come up before, or when?
It came when they did the inspection, and the first, I signed an affidavit saying that I would be the only one to use the second kitchen downstairs, so we could move the purchase along. So I'm just trying to make it so my parents can live down there.
So now you closed on the house already?
Yeah.
Your house, obviously. All right, so where do your parents reside now?
They live in Wantagh, and they have a house in Florida.
Okay. So now would they be sold their Wantagh property to reside with you when they're here in New York?
Yeah,
Are there separate entrances?
there are.
So it's an apartment?
Yeah, I mean, if someone were to come, and I got the work done downstairs because it was a disaster, if someone were to come in, they would see it was obviously an apartment, but I'm not trying to have an illegal apartment. So that's kind of why I'm here.
Did you get any summonses or anything on this thing yet, or is this just you deciding to, want to make it legal then?
I'm just trying to proactively do it.
So now,
Proactively.
that, we would not be giving you a variance necessarily for the family, since this is special condition. This would be a temporary conditional use variance of every 2 years to be renewed. It would only be based on the condition that your parents are living in the home, and obviously we understand about the Florida thing. Now, when your parents are gone to Florida, would you have intentions of renting a home in Florida when your parents are not there?
I'm renting the home in Florida?
No. In other words, your parents go to Florida.
Sure.
I'm assuming. House is vacant. What are you going to do with that apartment when your parents are gone?
Oh, I would be open. I mean, they come back for the holidays and stuff. There's not like nothing.
But you do understand that granting a temporary conditional variance is up for renewal every 2 years. There is enforcement, obviously. And the thing is, if your parents, let's say, decide they're going to live down in Florida for good, permanently, you lose the conditional use.
I understand.
Reverts back to what it is. Obviously, additional one family with one kitchen instead of two.
Sure.
So you couldn't Airbnb it or anything?
No, yeah, I'm familiar with all the laws that you can't do any of those things. As far as the kitchen would go, so I'd have to remove the stove, I guess, at that point, if that was the case.
If they cease to use it, yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else on the board? Anyone in the audience want to speak in favor or against? Anybody want to make a motion?
Make a motion to grant a 2-year conditional, temporary conditional variance for use for his family.
Parents reside in Boston, have a second ed.
What's your parents' names?
Michael and Susan, same last name.
Okay.
I just come back every 2 years to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Case number 3361, application of Adam Simon of 110 Cleveland Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.6A use, 9-105.6I lot size, 9-105.6H density, for a conditional temporary variance to convert a one-family house into a two-family house at 110 Cleveland Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 202, Lot 19, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Commissioner Leonetti has introduced a motion to grant a 2-year conditional temporary variance. Chairman Morelli has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton?
Grant based on conditions.
Commissioner Lees?
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks?
Grant 2-year temporary conditional variance.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Grant 2-year temporary conditional variance.
Chairman Morelli?
Granted temporary conditional variance for 2 years.
This application has been granted. You said Michael and Susan, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Great, thanks, guys. Have a good night. Enjoy the summer.
Case number 3362, application of Kristen Buckley of 527 West Market Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.3C front yard for a new front yard deck at 527 West Market Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 21, Lot 63, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Timothy Lambert, the architect for the applicant, 3012 Fortescue Avenue in Oceanside, New York.
So, Mr. Lambert, I'm seeing this, it's kind of vague, requires a front yard of 15, you're proposing a new front yard of 0. So I'm assuming it's a deck.
Yeah, it's a deck. It's 2.5 feet high off the ground. It's going to have a 3-foot tall railing on it. It's going to be built to replace existing brickwork that's there. We actually found out that the existing brickwork is already 3 feet past the property line. So what we're going to do is remove that and build a deck that's on their property line. It's going to have a 0-foot setback, but it will be all on their property. So it's a big improvement. For them, it gives them additional space. For the local neighborhood, it just, creates curb appeal and a more maintained home. So it's a win-win for both the owner and the community. We don't see any detriment in this project.
So actually, it'd be back a little bit from the sidewalk?
That's correct, a solid 3 feet, which was surprising to us, and that's why we made it as wide as we could, because we just need the usable outdoor space. This is actually to the front door. Right now they have a masonry stoop at the front door, so we're going to remove that and create a deck and another masonry stair right next to that. And the reason being, they needed some outdoor space. Like, they have a dog and they want to have that dog run around right outside the front door. And also, we got 2 letters from local neighbors. Across the street, we have a letter, and I think adjacent to the property, we have a letter of no objection to the application. So if I could, I'd like to submit those. Again, it's a very modest-sized deck. It's only 7.5 feet wide, deep.
Added to the record after reading these 2 letters that we have 2 residents locally at 532 and 5.3 West Market, which are nearby neighbors. They're allocated and homeowners that have no objection to the replacement of existing front steps and patio with a single-level deck extended to the property line. All right, thank you. Anybody on the board? Anybody not on the board? Or against? Motion read.
I'll second. Looks like an improvement. It'll look nice.
Thank you.
I'll take them when you're done. Case number 3362, application of Kristen Buckley of 527 West Market Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.3C front yard for a new front yard deck at 527 West Market Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 21, Lot 63, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Chairman Morelli has introduced a motion to grant the application. Commissioner Leonetti has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton? Commissioner Lees?
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks?
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Grant.
Chairman Morelli?
Grant.
This application has been granted.
Okay, thank you.
Case number 3363, application of Brendan Egan of 30 Wyoming Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.5B height, 9-105.5C front yard, for a new second-story addition front yard deck at 30 Wyoming Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 258, Lot 13, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Good evening, Mr. Apple.
Good evening, Chairman. Good evening, Commissioners. Kenneth Apple, 30 West Park Avenue, Suite 202, on behalf of the applicant. Mr. Brendan Egan, who owns and resides as his primary residence at 30 Wyoming Avenue in Long Beach. The applicant has owned this property for approximately 17 years, resides there with his wife and 2 small children. He has made the decision to stay in Long Beach in this home, raise his family, and to do so, he's in need to expand his home in both living space and bedrooms. So he made the decision at a cost of a minimum of $125,000. He's here tonight to seek what we believe to be a reasonable request from this board. The plans are simply to add a second story to the existing home. The home's currently 700 square feet. He's got a wife and 2 children that live in the home. The second floor plan, there's 2 variances. The second floor plan is to add a deck, which is simply for recreational purposes. It's directly off what's going to be the new kitchen, if this is granted. It's on the second floor, which allows them to barbecue, sit outside, have dinner, or use it to relax and not be on the street level, which is not going to be changed. Obviously, you're going to access the bottom level from the street. The plans propose a 1.3-foot setback, which exceeds the precedence that the board generally requires when we're seeking this type of variance, which is a foot. These decks have been granted at a foot. This is 1.3. The deck is 9 by 22. Again, it's enough area to put a table and 4 chairs and just lounge on the deck. The second variance is for height. The 2 stories is 2 stories, and the height variance is simply for an attic, which is the reason for the 26.4-foot request. Being that this home is merely being added to, the only mode of storage is going to be that attic. Just so you know, if you have any concerns with regard to becoming living space, it's going to be a pull-down attic. There's absolutely no way you can, go up there to do anything other than store stuff. With 2 children, this is the only place to put anything, storage-wise. He decorates for Christmas, he decorates for Halloween. Just that alone, he needs places to store this. We're clearly not attempting to use this as any form of living space. There's no access from the outside. There's no second-story deck. There's nothing no way to get out of it. It's simply a pull-down to put stuff in, and that's the reason for the 3 feet. To go through the legal criteria of an area variance, there'll be no undesirable change to the neighborhood. The changes via variance have been regularly granted by the board, particularly in this neighborhood post-storm. The deck is a normal feature on all of these homes, and the height is clearly not excessive, especially in light of the fact that we're not doing a FEMA-compliant home. So if you drive down the block, it's clearly not going to stand out. It's going to be lower than the FEMA homes. I get it, we're seeking a variance, and that's why we're here. But if you go down the block, if this is granted at 26 feet, it's going to be lower than the house next door, which is well over 30 feet, and the house 2 doors to the north, which is the same thing. The second criteria is it can't be achieved by any other feasible methods. It's a 30 by 60 property. We all know the West End. There's just no other way to go but up and out. He's not going out other than the deck. He's just going up, and again, it's just for storage. We're clearly not requesting a substantial variance. As I stated before, this is the only method of expanding. I think, with the surrounding homes being as high as they are, I don't think it's substantial at all. And it's not going to have an adverse effect on the physical and environmental conditions of the neighborhood. As we put on the record, again, this is going to improve the neighborhood, improve the aesthetics. It's a bungalow, and he's just adding to it. That's all he's looking to do. He's simply looking to keep his family here and raise his family in the West End. He could sell this house and buy another house, but this is where he wants to be. And with a wife and 2 kids in a 700 square foot, 30 by 60 home, I don't think that this is an excessive application. So, we're asking you for simple relief. Obviously, we're asking for a vote tonight if possible, so he can get moving while the weather's nice. The plans are in place, and we appreciate your time.
Anybody from the board?
Originally I looked at the roof pitch and I said, oh, you can save a foot or so there, but your point about the storage and stuff is well taken, plus the fact that all the other houses that are raised up are way taller, so I have no problem with it.
I appreciate that.
This has to be a basement or a crawl space.
No, it's a simple bungalow.
But is it a basement or a crawl space? Crawl space.
Yeah.
So you don't have parking for that house?
No.
I was going to say, just have your client put his name and address on the record.
Brendan Egan, 30 Wyoming.
Anyone in the audience? I guess not.
I gave a look before I came up.
I'll second it.
I felt lonely.
Case number 3363, application of Brendan Egan of 30 Wyoming Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.5B height, 9-105.5C front yard, for a new second-story addition front yard deck at 30 Wyoming Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 258, Lot 13, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Chairman Morelli has introduced a motion to grant the application. Commissioner Leach has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton? Commissioner Leese?
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks?
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Grant.
Chairman Morelli? This application has been granted.
Thank you. Have a good night.
We have one extension, hold up, we have one extension of time. Okay, hold on 1 second. And I'll send you the extension tomorrow. Case number 2979, application of 250 to 258 East Park Enterprises Incorporated and Ben Ferranti of 2700 Two Brothers Court, Oceanside, New York, for a 6-month extension of the variance as modified granted by the Zoning Board of Appeals to expand the existing mixed use from 2 units above commercial to 3 units above commercial at 250 East Park Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 125, Lot 22, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who will introduce a motion on this application?
I will introduce a motion to grant the 6-month extension.
Who will second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Brooks is second in the motion. Commissioner Alton?
Yes.
Commissioner Leese?
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks?
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Grant.
Chairman Morelli?
Grant.
This application for a 6-month extension has been granted.
They keep coming back for 6 months extension. They keep coming back. This is like the 3rd time already.
What's that?
Ooh.